Yeah, that's a big cod, baby, right there.
Hello and welcome to FHN On The Northwest. Winning with Tommy Donlin.
What do you think, Tommy? It's the best. Nice one.
Drinking my buddy's homemade wine, living Northwest wild. Hunting, fishing is my kind of style. I float the Wainuchi when it gets hot. I'm proud of all the things that I've got.
Hello and welcome to Fish on Northwest. Winning with Tommy Donlin, coming to you from the Fish on Northwest studio located here in Olympia, Washington. Want to invite everybody to the show this evening, and so glad you could join us. If you're joining us for the very first time here on Root Sports, we thank you for that. Take a little bit of time and jump on over to our webpage if you haven't been there, www.fishhuntnw.com. There you're going to find a lot of great, insightful information. Most of our videos are posted up there, lots of insightful recipes and things, but also take note of the Edge Rods coupon, FHN 20 at checkout. You're going to save 20% on all Edge Rods all the time if they're not already attached to a previous reduced pricing or coupon. And then also Phelps game calls. Fish Hunt NW10 at checkout. You're going to save 10% on all calls for the remainder of the year, and we are right on the cusp of hunting as well, Tommy. So
we are. I didn't realize we were sponsoring a vape company.
Vape company, yeah, vapes, calls, and bongs. So anyway, lots going on. You and I had some time on the water this past week. Yeah. Different outings. We'll get to our tuna outing later in the show. Mm-hmm. Excited to bring that to the people. But this last week, bounced around to a couple different fisheries. Weather was a factor for both of us in some regards.
It was, yeah.
I jumped on board with Steve Kuhn and Scott Cole, and we were fishing the mid-stretch of the Columbia there below Beacon Rock, and had a good steady east wind that morning, whitecaps on the river, and for the first few hours, it was blowing out of the east. Fishing was the least, and we were 1 for 3. And Steve was doing everything he could, doing a good job controlling the boat. But it's just you're up against it, right? So then we pulled out, moved up, went up to Hood River, fishing out in front of the white salmon. You would have thought we were on a totally different day. 91 degrees. The heat was beating us down. We got some nice fish, but man, what a contrast of weather 25 minutes apart.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So and you were heading out to the ocean.
I was. So I spent Thursday and Friday on the ocean this last Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
And man, I experienced the blow as well.
Right.
I mean, it was a small craft advisory. We had a 6-foot swell at 9 seconds, and then on top of that, we had a nice 15 to 20 knot wind. And so it was.
That was Friday.
Yeah, that was Friday.
That was Friday.
Yeah, Thursday we did a little salmon, some rockfish.
Yeah.
We got our limit of rockfish. We found one upriver bright, Chinook, and then a whole bunch of crab that we brought in. So we kind of did the mixed bag game on Thursday, which was really nice. I will say though, the Coho after that little rain that we got, they were just like nowhere in the ocean. Couldn't find them. The birds were just not working anywhere inshore.
Gotcha.
Usually out of Westport, you go out, you're going to find those Coho anywhere from 180 to 220.
Yeah.
We went north, we went south, we covered all the water column, and we just didn't really find anything.
Huh. They got up and out of there waiting for more to come in now. So.
But Friday was game time for tuna, and when it's that rough, it's really hard to see jumpers, right?
Yeah.
So you rely on the birds, but the birds were not working any piles. So those tuna were sunk out. And we ended up with 4, a lot of boats, 0, 1, 2. Yeah. Our friend Carl Freudenstein, I think he had 6, so.
Complete 180 from our week previous, huh?
And tuna will humble you, right? Because one day it's like that, 2 days later, they're in the same zone, the same water. Right. They're eating the bottom paint off the boat.
Gotcha.
So.
There you go.
It's weather's a factor. You just got to go. If you don't go, you don't know.
Weather was a factor for us too. Tuesday we headed out to Grays Harbor, wanted to get in on that, had a 6-foot tide. I felt pretty confident. Ask Jordan, he'll tell you how confident I was. I was saying, hey, I can't, looking forward to the picture of all these dead coho on the deck of the boat, and man, we were humbled. Yeah. It was a humbling week for FHN On The Water. Yeah, the all-you-could-eat free salad bar that was that floating in the bay out there was nonstop and problematic. So we'll get into more of that on that that Grays Harbor fishery as the season progresses here. All right, before we get too far along here, let's run down the show. Bringing it to you tonight, part 1, FHN on the Water with Captain Tommy Donlin. This gentleman sitting to my immediate right. Westport Tuna, man, we had an epic day, didn't we?
Yes, indeed.
Going to bring that to you. You guys are going to enjoy that. Then we're bringing back on, catching up with none other than Bill Monroe Jr., Bill Monroe Outdoors. Quick recap. How good has our summer been in early fall fisheries, Tommy? And for Chinook and Coho, we're going to kind of walk through that with Bill because it's been outstanding. Then we're also going to cover with him in the next segment a little revamp on the Impact meeting here. What was the outcome and are we still fishing and where? Then we're going to bring to you parts 2 and 3 of FHN on the Water with none other than, our very own Captain Tommy Donlin, Westport Tuna. You guys are going to enjoy this, so we're bringing you the whole episode tonight. And then, hey, buddy, weather change is coming. Get your river gear ready. This is going to be amazing. We're going to walk you through that as it shapes up, and we get to all of that later in the show. So don't go anywhere. Lots of great content tonight. We're going to jump out for a quick break. We come back, part 1 of FHN on the Water. Westport Tuna, right here after this break. Fish Out Northwest. Defiance Marine is the one-stop shop for the Pacific Northwest angler. Defiance Marine guarantees the best price on a new and best service on a repower for your current boat. Defiance Marine is a Honda Premier dealership and one of the largest on the West Coast. Defiance Marine is a boat dealer who proudly sells Defiance, Allied, and Arima boats. All boats are built by West Coast fishermen for West Coast fishermen. Defiance Marine has all your boating needs to help you get out on the water.
If you're looking for the best fishing rods in the world, you really do need to take a look at the Edge rods. I designed and built new machinery, and I think this new machinery has enabled us to build blanks like no other company can build without this equipment. There is no other rods in the world that are as good as these rods. You owe it to yourself to take a good look at them.
All right, so I think we figured out where to run here. We got some really good looking blue water at about 45 nautical miles. We're gonna run to 4702 and 124.58. And this is the chlorophyll shot that we just got yesterday afternoon. So it's like the most recent data that you could possibly get. Super clean shot. You can see exactly where the blue water is. I'm gonna try to show it to you. Right there, we are gonna run right to that edge of the blue water, right on the break. And there's going to be tuna there.
Hey guys, New England, Tommy Donlin, Captain Tommy Donlin.
Yeah.
See in the studio, you're Tommy Donlin. Out here,
I know.
I got to give you your full credit, man.
Yeah. This is my natural element, right?
This is your natural element, and why is that? Well, we're going after tuna.
Yes,
today,
we are.
Tommy.
Yes, we are.
Looking at weather forecasts, some of the sites you jump onto to kind of gauge what's going on.
Yep.
What's the weather look like today? What's the opportunity look like today? And what's the reports from yesterday telling you about what we're doing? Yeah.
And so, I look at about 7 different sites to kind of paint a complete picture. I look at deep zoom for current and tides.
Yep.
I look at, sail flow windy, and NOAA for all that marine weather, trying to figure out what the marine weather is. And today, the forecast is for 10 knots of wind out of the north and like a 2-foot swell at 11 seconds, right? So it really doesn't get any better.
Yeah, I think it goes to 13 later afternoon. I mean, it's ridiculously flat.
Yep. We don't have a full moon this weekend, which is great, right? So the tuna haven't been feeding all night. You know, as far as the reports go, the tuna are out there. There's jumpers everywhere, right? The water, I look at rip charts and satfish for my, those are my 2 sites that I look at for sea surface temperature and chlorophyll. And when you look at that data yesterday afternoon, we got the most beautiful shot that you could possibly imagine for our temp breaks and our chlorophyll break. So we know right exactly where the hardest break is, 3 to 4 degree temp break. And we're gonna be running about 45 nautical, maybe up to 50 nautical if we have to on a flat ocean. Looking forward to that. The one thing though is the fish have been finicky, right? So there's tuna everywhere, you can see them. But as soon as you start approaching that school, they get a little dicey, right? And so the name of the game today is to try to go into stealth mode as much as we can. And sneak in on these fish. We're gonna have Phil Kim on the bow, slinging iron. Trying to pull those fish in. I'm excited. We got some new edge rods models here. We got a new spinning rod prototype that we're gonna be trying out today.
Absolutely. So it's all shaping up to be a great day, man. And you know what? We're not gonna get it done here at the dock, so we should probably get going, right?
Let's go.
All right, let's do this, huh? Here we go.
What's up with the corn? Is that like a Nebraska thing?
Yeah, corn fed.
I was
Just ride okay over here, Phil?
You can probably move that.
And number 2. Thank you, sir.
Did you give him the cash?
There we go. Have a good day. All right, Tommy.
All right, I need a hard push.
Yep, I'm on it.
Is everybody good to go? What we need to do though is we need to bring down the edge rods. All right, so we just came up to the spot here. We had a really vicious temp break.
What's vicious?
4.5 to 5 degrees.
Nice.
Yeah, big temp break.
Okay.
Came into the zone. Saw a lot of birds on the cold water side. We do have a few flyers rolling around here, but we don't see any jumpers yet, and no birds crashing the water. And so we wanted to work the edge first. You never really want to go that far past a good temp break or color break, because a lot of times the fish are stacked up on that edge, but sometimes they can be just off of it. So right now, we're working our way into the warm water and we're headed west, kind of keeping a lookout for jumpers. We're trolling 2 diving plugs right now. We've got 2 nomads. We got one sinking, 1 floating. We've also got a Bomboy Lures mini bomb out right now as well. And then we've got a swim bait on the way back rod, basically the shotgun rod. And so trolling 4 lines, which is plenty because the whole plan is to convert to bait. And also if we see jumpers, we don't want to have a lot of troll gear that we have to bring in. So right now we're just prospecting, looking for that first tuna.
Perfect. We're gonna find them.
We will find them.
And then we're gonna bring in all that gear.
There will be a melee.
There will be a melee.
Yes.
Cannot wait. Here we go.
That's right.
Allied, the new leader in heavy gauge aluminum boats. Allied boats have standard reverse chine and lifting rakes to help you plane faster and run at lower RPMs. Allied boats have several models to choose from, ranging from a 19-foot Mustang all the way up to a 32-foot Liberator. So regardless of what type of heavy gauge aluminum boats you are looking for, Allied Boats will have it for you. Contact Allied Boats today to learn more about these incredible fishing machines.
Sportco, an outdoor emporium, is the largest local outfitter in the Northwest since 1975, providing thousands of people affordable outdoor gear. This summer, make your next outdoor adventure more affordable by shopping at our warehouse-style pricing. We are a local Scotty dealer, offering sales, service, and repair. Located in Fife and Seattle, come visit us today. The outdoors await you.
Welcome back here in studio to New England Tommy Donlin. Hopefully you're enjoying the tuna yet. You may have noticed we didn't get any tuna that first segment, but it's coming.
That's right.
It's
just,
coming.
Just
We got
hold
to
on.
slow roll into it,
We
man.
got to tease
that's
it
right,
out.
That's right. Hey, introduce our guest this evening. No stranger to the show by any means. Bill Monroe Jr., Bill Monroe Outdoors. www.billmonroeoutdoors.com. Welcome back to the show, buddy. I know you're extremely busy, but you take a little time out of your busyness to join us here tonight. Appreciate it.
Good evening.
Yes,
yes.
Hey,
busyness is the word right there. There you go.
Yes, indeed. Before we jump into this thing, I kind of want to take a little time with you briefly. We're going to make this brief. Quick little recap on our summer and early fall fisheries, both Chinook and now the Coho showing up. How would you gauge this fishery, like comparable to it was this good last time when? How good is our fishing right now?
So we are actually approaching a pretty epic little fishery this year. This is coming real close to 2014. We had 1 million Chinook in 500,000 Coho that year.
That's right.
This year we were only planning for it was maybe 300 to 400 or 500,000 overall to the Columbia River mouth, and we're probably gonna surpass the 600,000 mark just for Chinook.
Yeah.
And then we're probably gonna, if this is what gonna do what we're gonna keep doing, and there's plenty of commercial and recreational opportunity is still taking place. I think it might even approach the 700 mark through December 31st, and that is a big deal. When you start thinking about the 400,000 Coho and then another couple 100,000 B index Coho, we're right on track with that 2014 mark, and that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Something yet again is going right. Ocean is going right, and it has been for whatever cycle these fish were in. And I'm kind of excited about it. I have had a phenomenal. We started fishing July 7th, just after July 4th, and it's been bonkers straight through. And we've had ocean fisheries, and can you believe there's enough quota in the ocean that it's still open?
It's thank God for that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And there it is right there.
Yep.
Thank God for that.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So, Bill, you mentioned water conditions, and obviously, the past few years we've had some really good water conditions. We don't have that warm water blob that's sitting out there anymore that we have to constantly worry about, especially for our salmon runs. But there's also been kind of some management decisions made between Washington and Oregon. How much do you think that's a factor, and what do you see there?
I mean, that's a pretty big deal. We've been in La Nina now for 2, 3, maybe 4 years. That blob was in place, right along with COVID. And that was a thing. And El Nino was kicking butt and taking names out there and creating this ocean that was really not good for fish.
Yep.
Now, La Nina isn't present. It's been present for a while. And I think we're seeing the fruits of that labor. We've had, knock on wood, we've had a pretty good year to show that this cycle of fish is healthy enough to be able to probably survive this kind of ocean. Now, the forecast, though, when you look at the 24-month outlook, El Nino is set to return, and it's actually taking place as we speak.
Right.
Yep.
And that's probably not a good thing. I'm a little concerned about it. I think everybody's watching it. NOAA is on top of it. And I mean, maybe, just maybe, the river can be adjusted. However, it's going to ebb and flow because, we do control spill. We control runoff. We control almost every facet of water dynamic that goes through the dams. That's the key here.
Yeah.
Especially these dams that have fish ladders. That's a big deal.
Right.
But when we start talking like dams, like the Snake River dams that don't really have fish passage, that's a bad deal. So, ocean, river, everything combined, I think we're on the right track. And this management stuff, can you imagine the job that they have to do?
No, it's tough.
No, I can't.
I can't either. And it's real easy to be angry and upset and just, overall pissy about everything. But I can't imagine the job that they have to do. And they've found a way to somewhat make it work.
I found it interesting that you compare this back to 2014, which is exciting. But then it transitions into this discussion about going from La Nina to El Nino. And last time we found ourselves in a 4-year El Nino. 2015, the blob showed up. 2016, it was still present. 2017, we're still struggling. So I'm hoping this isn't another 3-4 year collapse after a absolutely fantastic year in that comparative time frame. 2014 to 2019. So just something to be aware of. I know NOAA is, they got their eyes on it. DFW's got their eyes on it. Not that we can do anything about it because we can control those things within our control in the river, as you mentioned, Bill. But once it gets out to the ocean, man, it's all hands off, and we just got to let Mother Nature do her thing.
We just got to hope and pray that the 2, 3, and 4 salt fish are managing.
Right.
We need to hope that they can get after it and get it done. And even the smolts, the 1 years, we need to make sure that they get out there.
Exactly. All right, we got to jump out for a real quick break. We're going to hold you on through the break.
Cool.
We got some impact meeting information to get out of you before we let you go this evening. So we're going to jump out for a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Bill Monroe Jr., Bill Monroe Outdoors, right here after this break. Fish on Northwest.
Support from Northwest Sportsmen make Federal Ammunition the world's leading ammunition manufacturer. Federal uses the industry's finest materials, giving you reliable ammunition that delivers superb accuracy and optimum performance. Northwest hunters rely on Sportco to provide the best selection and prices in the Northwest since 1985. Sportco and Outdoor Emporium in Fife and Seattle. Your journey begins here.
McCombie's Custom Lures are made in the Northwest for salmon, steelhead, lake trout, and kokanee. Our products come in a variety of sizes and colors to help you catch more fish. Find our products in stores or at McCombie'sCustomLures.com.
Yep, for sure. Oh yeah, big fish. Yeah, buddy. Nice fish. Oh, beauty. Gorgeous fish.
Bobby's on the board.
We got a good one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, geez, come on.
Nice fish. Nice fish.
We're going to show you how to make fishing reels.
You haven't been here, but you know it. You've heard the sounds, smelled the air, and seen where your heart lands, if not yet. You haven't been here, but you've longed for a destination near or far, where the young and old find rest and excitement, not apart. You haven't been here, but you're on your way to a place not far. ExploreTheDalles.com.
All right, welcome back here to the show. Still got Bill Monroe Jr., Bill Monroe Outdoors on the phone here. Hey, so Bill, yesterday was a compact meeting, and they ultimately did come out with a favorable decision. So where exactly, when are we fishing, and where are we fishing? Where do we get to go after more Chinook?
So with the compact decision from yesterday, well, actually, wait a minute, it was the 20th. That would have been yesterday. Yes.
Yeah.
They opened up pretty much the entire river starting tomorrow. That's
Right.
the 22nd.
Right.
So today was not everywhere is open today, but it's just Warrior to Bonneville and above in Zone 6. What they did is, they already reopened Astoria for Chinook retention, any Chinook, with hatchery Coho, and it's still 3 bag limit down there. 1 can be a Chinook. But then for tomorrow, the 22nd, they open the entire river. Everything's going to be reopened, basically from Astoria all the way up to the Hanford Reach, Highway 395 bridge. It's going to be the whole thing. Zone 6 is fishing well. Bonneville's fishing well. St. Helens is doing well. And now you can go back down into the Cowlitz, Kalama, Cap Willamette.
Yeah.
And you can access all this lower river stuff that we've been kind of waiting for because of the infamous Thule Chinook.
Right.
Yeah. So we're not the only ones that are going to be out there fishing, right? There was a management decision made to allow the non-tribal commercials to fish the main stem of the river. And so with that decision, are they concerned about the number of hatchery fish reaching the spawning grounds, or what can you tell us about that decision?
So that they're not with the decision to do what they're calling mop-up tangle net session in zones 1 through 3, which is Astoria to St. Helens. And there's like 19 sessions of those. Oh, wow. And then they gave 2 separate more overnight openers for zones 4 or 5, which is basically St. Helens to Bonneville. And that is all gillnets, not just tanglements. That'll be all the full Monty. What they aren't worried about, though, is hatchery escapement was met, which is great news. We kind of like to think that the LRH tags, which are lower river hatchery, that's a Thule description.
Right.
Those fish seem to be they made it.
Good.
Yep, and that's a great thing. But I'm gonna stick to my guns. Thules are a absolute detriment to fisheries, and we need to either A, make more of them so we don't have to do this, or we need to B, and this is already taking place in a lot of other things. We have a couple of lawsuits here in Oregon that are going after the departments. We need to change the Pacific Salmon Treaty in the U.S. versus Canada segment, which is, the tit for tat thing, where we take care of Thules and they agree to not touch our spring Chinook stock, which we absolutely covet.
Yes,
so
that would be huge.
We have this catch-22. We have ESA listed fish. We have healthy stocks, non-healthy stocks, and major constraints, and then we have super complicated extrapolation points, which we're allowed to take a certain percentage of impacts to these fish. And this year, just like the last handful, it's Thules, and it's wild Thules. Hatchery Thules are the only way that they can measure wild Thule survival is through hatchery Thule take.
Correct.
Which ends up being Thule tags.
Yeah.
Very complicated.
We're up against it. Real quick, yes or no answer before we go. Do you think we're still fishing late into the season and potentially all the way through December because of the Mark Select fisheries they instilled in the entire buoy 10 season this August?
I hate to say it, but yes.
Okay. Yeah, just
All
wanted
right.
clarification on that. A lot of people were
That hatchery only thing worked. That got us through to Labor Day. It worked.
Yeah.
I don't like it because it's just like we're fishing for springers.
Right.
But
Yeah,
it
exactly.
worked.
Yeah.
It got us through to Labor Day.
Yep. All right, buddy. Always a pleasure. The information from you is
Awesome,
always
guys.
valuable, and I know people enjoy it. So thanks for taking the time, bud.
That's awesome. It's good to talk to you guys.
Absolutely.
Take care.
Bill Monroe Jr. Check him out. Bill Monroe Outdoors or on Facebook. Follow him on social media. He's got openings in October. You definitely want to jump in the boat and go fishing with him. All right. Going to jump out for a quick break. We come back. Parts 2 and 3 of our tuna excursion out of Westport. You guys are going to enjoy this, so stick around after the break right here, FHN Northwest. Allied, the new leader in heavy gauge aluminum boats. Allied boats have standard reverse chine and lifting rakes to help you plane faster and run at lower RPMs. Allied boats have several models to choose from, ranging from a 19-foot Mustang all the way up to a 32-foot Liberator. So regardless of what type of heavy gauge aluminum boats you are looking for, Allied Boats will have it for you. Contact Allied Boats today to learn more about these incredible fishing machines.
Hey guys, I'm Big Mike. Come on down to the Edge Pro Shop and see me. We've got all the best brands under one roof. We've got Hawken, Pro Cure, Short Bass, Pro Troll, Yakima Bait, Get 'em Dry Jigs, Northwest Bait Scent, Daiwa Reels, North Fork Lures, North Wild, Brad's, Superfly, Rocky Mountain Tackle, and of course, the greatest rods ever built, Edge Rods.
It's a dolphin.
Yeah, truly a dolphin.
And if you look at it, if you look at these things, it looks like Flipper. It looks like a bottlenose dolphin.
It just happens to be ginormous.
But like the Hulk version of the dolphin. Man, I've only seen these things once before. All the time that I've been out here, I've seen one or two at one time.
Look at that guy.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Baird's beaked whale.
Baird's beak.
B-A-I-R-D-S. Boom!
Dude, he's huge.
Watch for jumpers.
Watch him.
Yeah, I just saw a boil. Okay, let's bring those in. Let's bring that one in.
Here we go.
Let's go. Okay, pulling the troll rods.
Take off, little swimmer. Come on, buddy.
Okay, just stay right there.
He's going on the window.
Okay, that's okay.
Come on, where there's one, there's more. Let's go.
Okay, just bring him over here.
First tuna. Atta girl.
There we go. Oh, Phil's on.
I'm on. Oh yeah, there he goes.
There you go.
There you go.
He's going. 3 on!
I am. Give the Kim room.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yep, we're good. We're good.
Okay. There you go. If that speeds up, hit him.
Good boy, Tommy.
There we go. Dwayne, talk to us a little bit. What's going on?
We got what? 3 on? 3 on bait. 3 on bait.
3 on.
Madison
And who is the Hollywood out of this group? That is the question. Kim, let's get you another bait, my friend. Oh, is that because you counted to 10? Oh, okay.
Under the boat. Let's go, buddy. Get up here.
There we go. So the name of the game, Madison, is follow your fish. It's not.
I think I'm on.
Hit him. Reel. Oh, yeah. Follow your fish. There you go. Come over here. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Busy, baby. Oh, we got follow your fish. Follow your fish. Your fish goes, you go.
Screaming. Okay, we got to keep out of
it. These better be like 30 pounders, man. I'm telling you. You come over. It's a dance. We do the dance.
Line peeler. Come on, buddy. There you go, Tommy. There you go.
Fatty.
I was not going to let him peel line. That's a decent sized fish. Got him, buddy? There you go. There we go. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
Here, hold that tight.
I got it.
And that would be an albacore tuna, my friend.
Thank you.
Nice work. Nice work. Here, hold that tight. Here. Hold that. Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
All right, we got Madison's very first tuna here. And as is customary, she must and wants to eat the very first heart of her very first tuna. So we are going to...
It's not really.
You're going to like it. No, trust me. Trust me. Trust me.
It's going to taste like poke.
Yeah, just a little bit more like an iron taste. Okay. Oh, look at that.
Oh my God,
and
it's
just
still beating.
just for you, you don't have to eat that part. You can remove that, but
Literally still beating.
Yeah, still beating.
that's for you. Congratulations, welcome
Atta
to the
girl.
club. Yeah, baby.
Not to eat.
You ate it, yeah. Yes. Yes. Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo! Yes. Yes, indeedy. Beautiful.
All Defiance boats are built without any structural wood materials. That is why all boats are backed with a lifetime warranty. All Defiance boats come standard with large fish boxes that are fully insulated so that you can ice your fish properly all day. All Defiance boats are foam flotation filled and unsinkable for the ultimate in safety while fishing offshore. Before you buy any boat, stop by or call Defiance Boats today to ensure you are getting the very best glass boat your money can buy.
If you're looking for the best fishing rods in the world, you really do need to take a look at the Edge rods. I designed and built new machinery, and I think this new machinery has enabled us to build blanks like no other company can build without this equipment. There is no other rods in the world that are as good as these rods. You owe it to yourself to take a good look at them.
New days, new beginnings, New friends, new loves, new dreams, new goals, new scenery, new job. No matter what the next chapter holds, Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate will be there to help you find the new that's right for your lifestyle at any stage of your life. Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. Expect better.
We're going to show you how to make fishing reels.
All right, so we got a jumper patch up here about 150 yards. We got the wind going from our left to the right, port to starboard, as we're approaching the pile. So what we want to do is we want to set up wind of them. So right now you've got a couple different varieties of birds, and you can see they're jumping up and down. They're putting their head in the water, and then every once in a while you're going to see a tuna blitz the surface. So they've been pretty finicky today, but basically what we're doing is we got a guy on the bow with the jig. As we get close enough, he's going to fire that jig into that little jumper patch, into where those birds are. And as he does that, we're already bringing in all the troll gear, and we're going to start sending baits out, sending a lot of baits. And I'm even seeing a couple tuna boil downwind of this bird patch. So what we're going to do is we're going to sneak up to the top end. I'm going to get up there, and then I'm going to slide into it. I'm going to go to neutral, slide into it, and then shut the motors off, and then hopefully we can get on.
There you go.
Yep.
Oh. Hooked up, hooked up, hooked up, hooked up, hooked up.
Fresh one.
Freshie. On the edge.
Yeah! Big fish! The jig is on!
Yep, we're good. We're good.
Doing the dance!
Color! Oh, Jesus. Another one. Yeah, and more fish swim up with him. I had 3.
Oh, go, 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 go! Oh, yeah, we're dancing now, we're dancing now!
This one is big.
Somebody take me to the dance!
Matt, your dance card's full. Oh my God. I had him up. And 3 other fish came up with him. Here we go. Over. You're under. Hey Tommy, so let's talk a little bit about bait. All right, so you're pretty particular about the anchovies that you get. And then as you go through your tank, you have ones that you're tossing for bait.
Yeah.
To pull fish in or to keep them around us, and you are selective on the ones you're pinning to the hook and the way you pin them to make sure you got a strong swimmer, right?
Yeah. So what I do is I take a scoop and I try to get, anywhere from 5 to 10 in a scoop. This is like a demo scoop here, so I just picked up 3. We're done for the day. We're plugged, right? So I just wanted to pick a couple customers here that we can use for the demo.
Sure.
But what I do is I dip them and I look at them. So I kind of study what's in the net, and I try to pick the one out of that group that's just absolutely says that I'm the strongest swimmer in the group. And then the other ones I chuck, right? Now, if I really don't like what I see, I chuck the whole scoop, and then I go and get another dip and then look at those. But, typically you're going to find some that are, really strong and some that are just not. Now, you can be fooled sometimes because you can pick one that looks good. Maybe you pick a large one, you put it in the water, and it tries to hide underneath the motors. It just won't leave the boat, right?
Yeah.
Or you put it in the water and all of a sudden it loses its motivation and it doesn't swim anywhere. Mm-hmm. Instead of being the cheerleader and trying to cheer that bait on, get rid of that bait.
Cheerleader.
So that's the picking the bait. So what I'll do is I'll show you how to hook one of these baits. then what I'm doing basically is I'm taking this hook, and this is the collar hook method. And so what I do is I've got this bait, I put my thumb over his eye, and for me that just seems to, and it's a very light pressure, and it seems to keep the bait relatively calm. But what I do is I kind of put my other 3 fingers out. I've got my thumb over his eye, and then I come back here and I just barely put the hook through the top of the collar. Even that one's a little bit deep, but basically you're just trying to get this collar, this bone that sticks out behind the gill plate. And then that's it. He's in the water.
It's worked all day, man. Every bait stop was successful, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah, that's right. We did well.
Nicely done.
Nice work.
Yeah. Okay, there we go.
All right.
All right, buddy, what do you think?
Man, today was phenomenal. I mean, that's like everything that you dream about in a September tuna run out of Westport.
Yeah. So, I mean, the weather, the forecast, and then the plan you put together.
Yep.
And we talked about it this morning before we headed out, checking all your different, projections and weathers and temperature lines and all the things you put together. And I'll be darned if, as we ran out there, you didn't land right on that spot and you were going,
yeah,
love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah, no, it came together perfectly.
Yes,
and you
it
notice,
did.
like, when we started out, we were in those like large model but super finicky fish, right?
Yeah.
And we were like scratching away. We get like 2 at a time, 3 at a time.
Yep.
And then as we moved further into that warm water and it got bluer, that's when we started getting mixed schools, but we were getting 8 at a time, 9 at a time.
Yeah. I think our best stop was we were into like 12 fish, landed 8 of those.
Yeah.
And every one of them was generated. I think one time we just moved and went towards some birds and we had a little surface action and we threw out live bait and we hooked up. Other than that, it was something, a swim bait, a plug, something a nomad, would get ripped on.
Yeah.
Just one.
Yeah.
And then we would freaking get the bait going and.
Yeah. I mean, we had a few where we slid into them and threw bait and got them going that way. So really kind of a variety of techniques, really. Got him on the jig. Right, put Phil on the bow and had him casting towards the jumper school.
Yeah.
Obviously got him on live bait and then got him on the troll. So.
And how fun is that live bait? People talk about it, but until you experience that, you got that strong little, Phelps out there swimming away.
That's right.
Taking off from the boat, and all of a sudden, the spool speed on your reel goes tenfold.
Oh, yeah. It does.
And when you hammer down,
you slowly engage that drag, and then your rod is bent.
It's
you're on.
Yeah.
And the best thing about this fishery is, you don't just get that dopamine hit once. You get it again
and again. Yeah.
So that's why this fishery is really special. And the biomass is just, it's in the millions, right? And so when we fish on these fish, as a sport fishing community, we're not even taking barely 1% of the total population.
Barely scratching it. And the consistency today is one of those days you hear people talking about and just, how everything came together. Again, the weather and just how it all, we knew we were going to have a favorable forecast.
Yep.
With not a whole lot of wind. And, we landed on them. They wanted to play at times, and it really kind of, it got pretty busy there on a couple stops.
It did. And unfortunately, a lot of our friends struggled out there today. So they weren't, as lucky as us to have this pile of tuna here. But I think the difference is in how number one, you got to be able to spot the birds and spot the jumpers.
Yep.
We had more wind than was forecasted today.
Yes, we did.
And when you got white caps on the surface and you have white birds and you have birds sitting on the water and you have tuna, our tuna don't sky out of the water. They're not jumping 5 feet out of the water. So they blitz the surface, right? And so it's a lot harder to see that activity, number one. And then in how you approach the school, we saw today a couple boats like charge into right on top of the birds.
Yeah.
And when you see that, that's going to sound the tuna. If you come too far into where they're jumping, that's going to sound the tuna.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot to be said about, reading if that school is traveling left to right, right to left, away from you, and then reading the wind and being able to set the boat up at the right location to be able to drift over those fish.
Yeah, and you did it time and time again, and proof is in the pudding, as they say. I mean, we're going out here with 45 or 46 tuna. We called it at 2 o'clock?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Phenomenal morning. So nicely done once again, brother.
Thank you.
And hope you guys enjoyed this. I know we sure did. Love bringing this type of content to you folks to watch, and maybe one day think about getting out on a tuna run, because it is everything that is talked about and more.
Absolutely. There's
100%.
nothing like it.
Right on. So, all right, that's going to do it for us out here out of Westport with Captain Tommy Donlin. And we'll jump out for a quick break. We'll be back in studio right after this.
A Northwest favorite for almost 40 years, Arima boats are manufactured with pride in Bremerton, Washington. All Arima boats are built without any structural wood materials. That is why Arima boats are backed with a lifetime warranty. Arima can offer every boat with Honda outboard packages so that you can take advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty from your Honda outboard. Call or stop by Arima Boats today and let them help you get into your very next boat.
Yep, for sure. Oh yeah, big fish. Yeah, buddy. Nice fish. Oh, beauty. Gorgeous fish.
Bobby's on the board.
We got a good one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, geez, come on.
Nice fish. Nice fish.
Support from Northwest Sportsmen make Federal Ammunition the world's leading ammunition manufacturer. Federal uses the industry's finest materials, giving you reliable ammunition that delivers superb accuracy and optimum performance. Northwest hunters rely on Sportco to provide the best selection and prices in the Northwest since 1985. Sportco and Outdoor Emporium in Fife and Seattle. Your journey begins here.
All right, welcome back here in studio. Nicely done out there, Cappy Tan.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, man.
Boy.
You can't beat tuna fishing.
Yeah, it was great. A lot of people commenting on here, man, that, boy, that looks like a lot of fun. I got to go give that a go. And yes, absolutely you do. And you will not regret it, especially if you take home a bounty full of fresh tuna. And then once you start learning how to cook that stuff up.
Oh, it's
and or
good.
eat it raw.
So
Yeah,
good.
it's amazing. So we started the show out talking about how the weather had kept us off the water. Now I'm looking at the weather, Tommy, and I'm getting excited.
Yeah?
I'm
Why
getting
is that?
excited. Well,
Why is that?
Well, we got to change. We got a change in weather coming. In looking back a bit of time ago, it was like, oh, it's going to be dry all the way into mid-October, man. Wah wah. Things
Right.
are,
And that's what we dealt with last year, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now things have kind of on the uptick. We got some rain coming here. Things are looking kind of exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
When you took me out on an undisclosed river, I won't say the name
Yes.
because I don't want to get death threats or beat up by anybody.
Right.
But that was phenomenal.
It was all timing, wasn't it?
And I want to say we caught, released, I don't know, somewhere between 30 and 40 kings and coho.
Bank
Just
fishing,
unreal.
Drowning
Just
eggs all day.
Unreal.
It was
Yeah.
unbelievable. Opened your eyes. So what does it come down to? It comes down to watching the weather forecasting, the river forecasting.
Yeah.
Pay attention to tides as well, because if I want to go out here and fish the Grays Harbor area. But I got to tell you, going into the 1st of October, when these tributary and main stem rivers open here in the harbor area, in this part of the region, look at them tides going into first couple days of October. October 1, I'm not going to be out there in the bay anywhere near it because, I mean, we're talking about 11-foot tide swing. You want to talk about salad
That's
all
a
day
big
long?
swing. Yep.
That's a big swing. And so shallow water fisheries, lots of sand getting turned up off of those sandbars, lots of turbidity in the water, things you just want to steer clear of. So I look at that big tide, and if we didn't get the rain, I'm excited about big tides because full moon cycles, big tides start pushing fish in the rivers. Well, we're getting the rain on top of that. So looking ahead at some of the rain coming between the 24th and the 29th, I mean, look at the amount of green and yellow we got in some of the areas there.
We're going to get a good amount.
That's within about a week. There's time frame rolling right up into the very end of the month now in September. Exactly what we want. Now, it all depends on where it's going to land and when we're going to get these rivers on the drop. As we roll forward, okay, we get to the end of the month and the rain is here, and is it going to hang for a bit? Are we going to start seeing these rivers dropping? If I take a look at this next chart, I got multiple rivers on there, and it shows great things, man. It shows us swinging on up, And how can I forecast where I want to be and when? Well, I start looking for those arches to come down. And when does that start coming down? The other thing we got to remember is first big wash of the season. As we roll into the fall, not only do the rivers come up, but they get filthy dirty. Because all that light debris,
especially the first one, right?
Yeah, all the light debris and the dirt and the sand.
Yeah,
and
it's chocolate milk.
Oh gosh, and so it's going to be dirty. But we get that drop, and you may need to wait an extra day or two. But once that flushes out and you start getting 3, 4, 6 feet of visibility, dude, it's go time. So get your eggs ready, get your bobbers ready. We're going to start walking you guys through that stuff over the next several weeks, getting ready for the anticipation of some of these tributaries opening and bobber and egging it, twitching jigs, and throwing spinners. Cannot wait. So, all right, jump out for a very quick break. We come back, we'll close out the show right here, Fish on Northwest. Defiance Marine is the one-stop shop for the Pacific Northwest angler. Defiance Marine guarantees the best price on a new and best service on a repower for your current boat. Defiance Marine is a Honda Premier dealership and one of the largest on the West Coast. Defiance Marine is a boat dealer who proudly sells Defiance, Allied, and Arima boats. All boats are built by West Coast fishermen for West Coast fishermen. Defiance Marine has all your boating needs to help you get out on the water.
If you're looking for the best fishing rods in the world, you really do need to take a look at the Edge rods. I designed and built new machinery, and I think this new machinery has enabled us to build blanks like no other company can build without this equipment. There is no other rods in the world that are as good as these rods. You owe it to yourself to take a good look at them.
For more than 90 years, you've entrusted one brand to guide you toward living the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. Now you can entrust affiliated Better Homes and Gardens real estate professionals to interpret your needs and help you find the home in which to live your dreams through every stage of your home buying or selling process. And through every stage of your life, there's Better Homes and Gardens real estate. Expect better.
I just saw on here Sal Pasatino Sr. puts, dang, watch Fish on Northwest or my 49ers. Hard call. No, it's not.
Yeah, no.
49ers, what the heck? Yeah, easy call. Hey, I want to remind everybody, yes, 29th, first date of clam digs, tentatively, as long as we get past any issues with domoic acid. Mm-hmm. So we have about 35 digs scheduled to get through the season, and those are a lot of fun. We'll be keeping track of that and make sure we remind you guys when and where you can dig safely. Great time to get the family out, although as we get deeper in the fall and winter, it gets a little cold.
Yes, it does.
And then these are night digs with headlamps. Yes, dress warm. Tommy, hey, tomorrow's kind of a big day.
It is a very special day.
33rd year anniversary for me and Shing. And I got to say, happy anniversary, babe. Love you. All that you do for us here at Fish on Northwest. You really help hold this team together, and how about that salmon tonight?
Oh, it's unreal. Every meal that Shing makes is a phenomenal meal.
Yep. Yeah. And thanks to her for all her hard work and putting our clothing line together and working with Blake to get all this stuff printed up and all the things we offer out of the store. So we're going to get that thing back up online here at some point. Got a lot of things in the work right now, so we're trying to juggle it all. But fantastic. Looking forward to tomorrow, babe, and happy anniversary, 33 years. So, all right, going to do it for us here tonight. Fish Hunt Northwest. Want to thank everybody for joining us as you do each and every week, and make sure you tune in Sunday mornings here on Root Sports, 9 to 10 a.m. One full hour show of programming each and every week. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week, Thursday here, Fish on Northwest.